So let's say the Niners don't take Mac Jones. Let's say the Jets blink and they go for Trey Lance, which may be the right pick. He might be the best player in the whole draft. Let's say they take Trey Lance or Justin Fields, and the Niners don't draft Mac Jones. They take Zach Wilson. What happens to Mac Jones?
He's going to fall, I think. I think he could fall pretty far. Like, let's look at the teams that honestly would probably take Mac Jones. And I don't think there's a lot of them. I think the Patriots are one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Broncos, by the way, who need a quarterback, I don't think they're taking Mac Jones. I think they want Lance or Fields, and they're willing to move up for those guys. So I would say the Patriots are probably a team that would be interested. I would say maybe Washington, right? Because they only have a 1-year stopgap.
Yeah.
And I would say probably the Steelers and the Saints are the 4 teams that I would pin on. But all of them are 15 or later.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think the Patriots' MO, by the way, is to move up into the top 10 to get them. I really don't believe that.
I don't think they would take a quarterback in round 1 under any circumstances. I think they like Cam Newton.
I do too. And I don't know. I just look at the overall issue. If we go Mac Jones at 3, it's so crazy because we're literally fighting against ourselves.
Yes.
We did
fighting against yourself. It's like going to an auction and yelling 800, 900, no 1,000. It's like that's you fucking yourself.
No need for it. Nobody else is outbidding you, I promise.
2,000, that's my final. No, 3,000.
You're exactly right. That's exactly what it is. Because I don't think bare minimum, I think he falls to 15. But he easily could fall into the 20s, which, by the way, I think that's the value that he's always should have had. That's where he should be, as a late first round, early second round talent. That's just my opinion.
Wilson has ADHD. Fields has epilepsy. McCorkle has DUI. Lance has to be the pick. Yeah, Lance just has nothing on him. Like he's like Jay from Men in Black. There's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing here. Your name is. That's all we got. Look at
I agree with you. Lance is the guy. He's the guy I've always wanted. So I'm not swaying on that for sure.
Lance is interesting. He's one of the more interesting players I've ever tried to evaluate. I mean, everything you learn about him is like, it's like anecdotal. Like, hey, I hear he's really smart. Hey, I hear it's like, oh, great, because numbers lie.
Yeah.
And but it's just so little reps. And I gotta say, if I were a coach and I was like 65, I wouldn't want that. I'd be too scared. I'd be like, if this doesn't work, I'm never coaching again. I'm getting run out of the league. But if our Kyle 41, that's a risk I could take. I'm going to be coaching this league a long time. Why not go for someone who might be great as opposed to Mac Jones, who's the most pro ready? Imagine trading up to number 3 and making a decision based on who's the most pro ready. I mean, come on.
That's such a bad decision.
I'm not saying they're going to do that, but
I'm not sure. And again, I've laid out the case. I don't think Mac Jones is the most pro ready. It's not like he has a ton of games under his belt. It's not like quarterbacks that aren't mobile don't struggle early. All those guys struggle early.
Right.
If you're a pocket passer and a pure pocket passer, you struggle early. That's just the way that it is.
Exactly.
It's the mobile guys that do well early. So he's not the most pro ready. And this whole notion of win now, it's the biggest garbage BS thing I've ever heard. Win now. So if we're ready to win now, why are we even taking a rookie quarterback?
Exactly.
Because rookie quarterbacks, quote unquote, don't win now.
Yeah. You're trying to have the brightest future imaginable. You're trying to draft a quarterback who's going to have the best long-term career. That's what you're doing here. And what I don't get is, like, I was listening to Daniel Jeremiah yesterday, who's really smart, and he's trying to like justify the Niners taking Mac Jones. He has Mac Jones ranked 32nd on his big board, but he also has Mac Jones going to the Niners at 3. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, for any other team, it wouldn't make sense. But for the Niners, it makes sense because they have all the things that they had out of Alabama, blah, 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 blah. Okay, then take him at round 2 then. That's fine if he fits your offense, but if you don't take him at 3, he's going to drop to 24, and you could trade up to get him. There's no reason to take a guy 20 to 25 spots ahead of where you needed. Like, you could have just stayed at 12, though. Dude, what are you doing? Yep. And people know it, and people are going to hold that against you the rest of your career. So, if I think he dropped pretty far, and if the Niners are dead set on him, dude, just take Kyle Pitts and then trade back up and get him later. And if you miss out on him, who cares?
Yeah,
get someone else.
Yeah, it's funny because the narrative early was, well, it's okay to take Mac Jones at 3 because we really don't know for sure if he would have fallen to 12. I think now we know for sure that he would have fallen to 12.
Yes. I mean, Carolina's not taking him at 8. They have Sam Darnold, who's a better prospect in most teams' mind than Mac Jones. Maybe the Niners prefer Mac Jones to Sam Darnold. I bet you the Panthers don't. I bet you the Jets don't. Stuff like
Yep.
that. So, yeah, he going to drop. If the Niners want him, don't take him at 3. You can get him later.